Manisha, now we can start, please.
Okay, sir. Good morning, all of you. Electron concentration in conduction band and hole concentration in valence band, then density of states. First of all, we talk about electron concentration in conduction band. At T is equal to 0 Kelvin, all the energy states in the valence band are completely filled, and the energy states in conduction bands are completely empty. When we increase temperature, then due to thermal energy, electron shifts from valence band to conduction band. So we can find out the electron concentration in conduction band and hole concentration in valence band. So we know that in 3 dimension density of states in the conduction band G is equal to 4 pi 2 m e की power 3 by 2 E minus EC की power half upon h cube. And Fermi-Dirac distribution function, or we can say probability distribution function for electrons, Fe is equal to 1 upon 1 plus e to the power E minus Ef upon kBt, where Ef Fermi level and kB Boltzmann constant, T temperature. Since conduction band energy level greater than Ef Fermi level, so E minus Ef upon kBt is very large and positive. So 1 plus exponential E minus Ef upon kBt, we can take it E minus exponential E minus Ef upon kBt. So Fermi-Dirac function Fe is equal to exponential minus E minus Ef upon kBt. Then for concentration of electron, we multiply density of state into Fermi-Dirac distribution function, then integrating, so we get the concentration of electrons. For integration, we take limit from conduction band at EC to infinity. So we put the value of density of states and the probability distribution function. Then we integrate it. So here one term E minus EC upon kBt, we take let it x. Then differentiate it, kBt dx is equal to dE. Then we put value and change the limit. Here for integration, we use the gamma function integral. 0 से infinity under root x E minus x dx is equal to under root pi by 2. So we put the value in integration and we get the concentration in conduction band of electron N is equal to Nc exponential minus Ec minus Ef upon kBt, where Nc is effective density of states at the conduction band at Ec conduction band as Ef Fermi energy, where kB is Boltzmann constant and T is absolute temperature in Kelvin. Then now we find out the hole concentration in valence band. For hole concentration, we take density of states in valence band, and then Fermi distribution function Fe is equal to 1 upon 1 plus exponential E minus Ef upon kBt. So the probability of finding a hole in valence band is equal to 1 minus Fe. So 1 minus Fe is equal to 1 minus 1 upon 1 plus exponential E minus Ef upon kBt. Then we use here binomial theorem and we get 1 minus Fe is equal to exponential E minus Ef upon kBt. Then for concentration of hole, we do same thing as electrons, density of state multiply by probability function of for hole, and we get the concentration of hole. Same thing is here, we do a integration, then we get concentration of hole in valence band. E is equal to Nv exponential minus Ef minus Ev upon kBt, where Nv effective density of state at the valence band and EV valence band as if EF Fermi energy and Kb Boltzmann constant. Now we find out the density of states for a three-dimensional solid. We know that according to Sommerfeld model, electrons inside a solid are free electrons and they're not interacting with other electrons, walls of a solid and other ions. So uh, we use here Sommerfeld equation, Schrodinger equation minus h cut square upon 2m del square psi k is equal to E k psi k for a free electron. So potential is zero. Here Ek is equal to h cut square k square upon 2m. Then here electron is confined in a cube. So volume is V is equal to L cube. Here we take a solution for this equation. Psi k is equal to psi naught exponential iota k dot r. This is a plane wave solution of a free electron. By normalization condition, we get the value of psi naught 1 upon under root v. So we put the value in psi k. So we get the value of psi k is equal to 1 upon under root v exponential iota k dot r. Since we know that wave function doesn't become at the edge of box, it obeys a periodic condition. So we take it periodic condition psi k x function x and x plus L पे equal. So psi k is x is equal to psi k x plus L. So we put here condition for three dimension and we get the value of kx, ky and kz by this solution. 2 pi nx upon L, ky is equal to 2 pi ny upon L, kz is equal to 2 pi nz upon L, where nx, ny, nz are integers. So here the smallest volume in momentum space, or we can say volume per point, is equal to 2 pi upon L into 2 pi upon L, and 2 pi upon L is equal to 2 pi upon L ki whole cube. Uh, then momentum space volume of a point is equal to 4 by 3 pi k cube. So here we find out the number of field states. For field state we here multiply by 2 because in one state we can fill 2 electrons. So 2 into 4 by 3 pi k cube upon 2 pi L ka whole cube. So we get the value of number of states is equal to k cube L cube upon 3 pi square. Since we know that energy is equal to h cut square k square upon 2m, so we can find out the value of k from here and put the value in this equation. So we get the value of number of states in the form of energy. We know that density of states is equal to number of states per unit interval of energy per unit volume at energy. So GE is equal to 1 upon V dN upon dE. So we do here differentiation, put the value of n. So we get the value of density of states in three dimension is equal to GE is equal to 1 upon 2 pi square 2m upon h cut square ki power 3 by 2 e ki power 1 by 2. We can see that here density of states is under root proportional to under root e. So we can make graph like that. Then density of states in two dimension. For two dimension, we take structure 2D structure like quantum well, and we can use here similar approach like three dimension. In two dimension, for at volume here we use area per point. So 2 pi upon L ka whole square. Then momentum space area of a point is equal to pi k square. Then we find out the number of field state is equal to same as well. We put the value and we get the value of n. Then we get the value of n in form of energy. Then here density of state is equal to number of states per unit interval of energy, and here per unit area in two dimension. So we put the value here and we get the value of density of states is equal to m upon pi h cut square. Here m is the mass of electrons, and we can see that here 2D density of state does not depend on energy. It's directly proportional to the e to the power 0. Yeah, we can say matlab, it's not depend on energy. Then for one dimension solid. For calculating the density of states for one dimensional structure, like we can take quantum wires, we can use similar approach like 3D. Here, distance per point and then momentum space distance of a point is equal to k. Then we find out field states, then density of states. So here, same process, we find out the density of states for one dimensional solid 1 upon h cut pi m upon 2e की power half. So here we can see that density of states is inversely proportional to 1 upon inversely proportional to under root e. So we can make a graph like that. Then density of states in zero dimensional solid. Zero dimensional solid, we consider zero dimensional solid like quantum dots. In zero dimensional solid, there is no free motion because there is no gas space. So there is um, uh, all states are exist at discrete energies, and for discrete energies here we use the for density of states a delta function, because we know delta function is discrete. So here density of states is equal to 2 delta e minus ec. We can take here 2 delta e. So here graph like that. Then here is quantum dots. What is quantum dots? Quantum dots are small devices that contain a tiny droplet of free electrons. Dimension of quantum dots between nanometers to few microns. It contains single electrons to a collection of several electrons. Quantum dots are widely used for unique optical properties because as they emit light of specific wavelength if energy is applied to them. So, thank you.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Manish.
So can I try once more?
I have downloaded it. Let me see. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
So whenever you want, I will change the slide. Just tell me.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. So shall I start?
Yes.
Good morning, everyone. Myself Jagriti Chaudhary, and today I'm going to present our assignment first. So this assignment includes two main topics. First one is to calculate the concentration of electrons and holes in conduction band and valence band respectively, and second is to get to know about the density of states in different dimensions of solids. So first topic is electron concentration in conduction band. So we know that electrons are whenever temperature is given, the electrons are mainly found in conduction bands. So we are interested to know about the electron concentration in conduction band. So for that we know a formula which is shown in front of us, where GCB is the energy density and Fe is the Fermi Dirac probability. The reason why we take Fermi Dirac probability is because electron is a fermion. That's why we take this probability. We know that Fermi Dirac probability is as shown. So whenever we take a condition that whenever energy is very much large than EC is the energy of the bottom of the conduction band, and the second condition is E minus EF is very large than KT. So we can see in the denominator, when the E minus EF is very greater than KT, then the exponential value will be very large. So in respect of that, one will be neglected, and we will get the FE value as e to the power minus E minus EF upon KT. We know that the energy density at the bottom of the conduction band is as shown, where gamma's value is shown in gamma value is shown in front of us, where me is the effective mass of an electron. So we will put the values of GCB and Fe in the first equation, where we um, write the concentration of electrons. So by putting the value and solving further, we will get. So please change the slide. So by putting the value and solving further, we will take one more condition, that by putting E minus EC upon KT equal to X and differentiating it, again putting all these values and solving it, we will get the concentration of electrons as. So next slide. The concentration of electrons as 2 Nc e to the power minus Ec minus Ef upon Kt, where Ec is the energy of bottom of conduction band, and Ef is the Fermi energy level.
I think you will not have two here.
Yes and no, it will be not. Sorry, sir. So now we are interested in hole concentration in valence band. So we are taking the hole concentration in valence band. It is because the electrons are electrons left valence band and go to the conduction band. So the position left in valence band is the hole itself only. So we are interested in getting the concentration of holes in valence band. So we know that the density of states is as shown, where gamma value is written as 4 pi upon h cube bracket 2 mp to the power 3 by 2, where mp is the effective mass of a hole. So here what we do is, we will take the unoccupied energy states, because the occupied states are for electrons which are jumped up to conduction band. So here left are the unoccupied states. So it will be 1 minus Fe, and we earlier found the value of Fe, so we will subtract it from 1. The next slide. So here we will take condition that energy will be less than EV, where EV is the energy of top of valence band, and the second condition is EF minus E is very large than KT. By putting all these value, we will get 1 minus Fe equal to e to the power E minus EF upon KT. So the concentration of holes in the valence band is, by putting all these value, we will do some calculations, and we will get the concentration of holes as. So one slide more. As P equal to Nv e to the power minus Ef minus Ev upon Kt. As told earlier, Ef is the energy of Fermi level, and Ev is the energy of top of valence band. The next topic is density of states for a 3-dimensional, 2-dimensional, 1-dimensional, and 0-dimensional solid. So first of all, we will discuss about 1-dimensional. So the density of state for 1 dimension is defined as the number of quantum states. So it is per unit energy range, per unit length, and is denoted by dE 1d. 1d is for 1 dimensional. So by the definition, it is as 1 upon L dn upon dE, where dn is the number of quantum states. So length of single state in K space is pi by A. It is like a wire, so we only take the length. So it is pi by L only, and the length of line in K space is K. So a number of field states will be K, means length of total line, and upon length of single state, that is pi upon L. and we will multiply by 2 because each quantum state consists of two electronic states. One is for spin up and one is for spin down. So we get the number of field state as 2kl upon pi. We will differentiate this number of field state by with the respect to k, and we will get 2l upon pi. We can find that dE equal to 1 upon L dn by dk. What we do is we multiply and divide dk here, and we get different equation. So we know that for, so I didn't know how to write edge cut, so I just put it in dash.
But
So
it is wrong.
what we do, we know that the energy of free particle is h cut square k square upon 2m. So we will differentiate it with respect to k, and we will get the values. From here we will find dk upon de, and by putting all these value in the previous equation, we will get the density of states for one dimensional, which we can see that it is proportional to the e to the power minus half. Now we will see about two dimension. So what we have seen that in one dimension we divide it by the length only, but here we will divide it by area because it is like a slab only. So in the place of L we will put here A, and next we will find the area of single state, which is pi upon A into pi upon B, and for equal length, for equal A equal to B, we will take L only, so pi square upon L square. And for k space, area is taken as a circle, and we know the area of circle is pi k square. A number of field state here we will take as previously defined as pi k square upon pi square upon L square, and we will multiply 2 by the same reason because of two electronic states, and we will multiply here by 1 by 4 because for one quadrant we will take the 1/4 part of circle, so we multiply it by 1 by 4. So from here we will find dn by dk, and again by putting all these values we will get the density of states as 4 pi m upon h square. We can easily see that it is independent of energy, and so it will be constant. For three dimensional, in the place of length and area we will put here volume, which is the formula will be like 1 upon v dn by de. We will find then volume of single state, which will be pi cube upon L cube, and volume of sphere for three dimensional it will be like a sphere. So we know that volume of sphere is 4 by 3 pi k cube for k space. So number of field states here, as previously defined, 4 by 3 pi k cube upon pi cube upon L cube. We multiply by 2 by the same reason, and multiply by 1 by 8 for three dimension. In three dimension for one quadrant, the 1/8 part of sphere is participated. So we multiply it by 1 by 8. So by getting the value of n, we will find dn by dk, and further we will calculate de value, and from here we can see that the density of three dimensional is uh, proportional to e to the power half. So next slide. In zero dimension, no free motion is possible because it is like a quantum dot only. So there is no k space to be filled with electron, and all available states exist only at discrete energies. So we describe the density of states for zero dimension with the delta function only. So it is dE equal to 2 delta e to e minus ec. So these are the graphs which depict the earlier formulas that we calculated for different densities. That for three dimension it will be proportional to the e to the power half, that is first one, and for two dimensional it is independent of energy, that it will be constant, and for one dimension it is proportional to the e to the power minus half, and for zero dimension it is a delta function. Thank you.
Okay. Who is next? Kauslesh Asutosh, Kusal Somen.
Sir, am I audible?
Yes.
Sir, can I present?
Yes, yes.
Okay, sir. Sir, is the screen visible, sir?
Yes, screen is visible. Go to the full slide mode.
Sir, it isn't working, sir. I'm trying.
Hmm.
So, can I start from this mode?
Yes, yes.
Good morning, everyone. So, today the topic we are going to discuss about is about the density of states and the concentration of electron and hole in the conduction and valence bands. So, now let's get started. So the density of state in an energy band is something that we are really concerned with. But why? Why do we need to know the density? Well, we studied that the energy levels that we find due to the interaction of energies of the orbitals, they split and they combine to form the energy bands that we use to describe the conduction of some metal. For example, the valence band, the conduction band, and the forbidden gap. But we have no idea how many number of states are there, right? Because if we don't know about the number of states, we can't say where the electrons are and how the conduction process is going on. So to do that, we developed a mechanism by which we described something called the density of states, which is represented by G of E prime. Okay, so what is G of E prime? Basically, it is the number of states between two energy levels, which we describe as E prime and E plus E prime for a given volume. So if we have a very, very small gap that is about the order of dE, then we can describe the total number of states as the integration of that thing. So can I present later? I have to see that this thing is in full mode as the equation can't be seen.
Now we can see the equation. SE is equal to integration 0 to pi G prime D prime.
Okay, sir. So let's continue. So we can assume that in the three-dimensional potential well there is the electron. As we know, the metals are three-dimensional structures. So the density of state, we need to start our analogy from the three-dimensional potential well that is kind of cubical in structure. But however, we know that the electron is a fermion, and because of that it always lies inside a Fermi surface. As we studied earlier, that Fermi surface is that surface which uh, separates the filled orbitals
First,
from the
first
unfilled.
letter of Fermi should be capital. It is name. It is on the name of a scientist, Enrico Fermi. So here F should be capital.
Sir, actually this slide isn't working, sir.
You can do it later.
Yes, sir. So we can see that here is n1 square, n2 squared, and n3 squared. All of the three are summed. So this resembles the equation of a sphere in three-dimensional surface. So we can safely assume that if we take n square equals n1 squared, n2 squared, and n3 squared all summed together, we can say this forms a sphere. So now let us see it diagrammatically. So it is what I have represented in a one-dimensional in the first quadrant. We can see that it only represents the positive part of the sphere, and what I'm trying to say is that our states are inside this sphere. The sphere represents the boundary between the filled orbitals and the non-filled orbitals. So we are looking for the states that are inside, right? So whenever a state is inside this surface, it must have some n value that must be less than n1 squared, n2 squared, and n3 squared all summed together. So now let us try to find the number of states. Okay, so we know the volume of a sphere is this quantity, the 4 pi, this radius cubed upon 3, and we divide it by 8 because the the three dimensions are divided into 8 quadrants, and we are considering only one quadrant. The 2 here, it is multiplied because we're considering the spin up and spin down of the electrons. So this 8 gets cancelled with 4 and 2, and we are left with pi n cube by 3. So that is the number of states that we have inside that part. So now we can take n square from the earlier what we have the value. This E equals h bar square pi square 2ml square. This is n square. So we can take all these and multiply it with E, and we can get n square. That's what I have written here. Here actually. So we can take the value of n square and substitute it in this value of n, and we will get this answer, which is actually the density of the states that we're looking for. Now let's go to the first one and see that how we have defined the density of states. As we can see, the density of states has been integrated to find the total number of states, that is SE. But in this slide we see that we find the number of states. So how are you going to find the density of states? Simple, we're just going to differentiate it. So differentiating this equation with respect to E, we find the density of states to be this. But you can see here I have written ME. Well, it is not the mass of electron actually. We consider here the effective mass of the electron, because there is a condition in which we observe that from the outside the electrons appear to be under some external force, but inside they are also having some force within themselves. So this, both of these force combine to give some resultant force, and when we divide it by the mass we get some, means it's some experimental value. This mass is not equal to the mass of electron, it's something different. So well, that was tiring actually, right? We were not here to do mathematics, we are here to learn what's the physics behind this. So we can see that square root of T, mass of the effective mass, the pi and h bar, all of these are constants, but density of states and the energy, these two are variables, right? So when we raise the energy, the value of density of states also rises. So we can say the density of state is directly proportional to the energy raised to the power of half. So what does this actually imply? Well, let's try to understand. As we increase the energy, more and more electrons are getting excited to higher and higher levels. So most obviously we are going to find more and more states that are going to be filled, and that will increase the density of states. So that's what is happening here. Okay, so let's continue. Let's go a little beyond, as we are going to consider the concentration of electron and holes. So let us understand how electrons and holes actually participate in the conduction process. So electrons basically are the medium through which we define conduction, as the flow of electrons are actually making the flow of current possible. There are nothing in sense called holes, because we have a material at equilibrium. When we are heating it or providing it with energy, the electrons are getting knocked out, and those spaces they leave out, we call them holes. In intrinsic semiconductors, the number of holes is equal to number of electrons, but when they are doped, the number of electrons increases, or maybe the number of holes may be increased, it depends on the dopant. But in general, the number of electrons is always equal to the number of holes. So the electrons are generally found in the conduction band. No, I mean that they are found in the valence band, but in order to conduct, they have to jump to the conduction band. However, since they are jumping from the valence band to the conduction band, the valence band must be filled with holes, as there are electron deficiency in that part. So we can simply say that if we have more electrons in the conduction band, or if we have more holes in the valence band, then the conduction is going to be high. That's what we have written here. The concentration of electrons or holes in conduction or the valence band is necessary to know about the conduction. Okay, so now let me try to give you an analogy. Suppose I go to a shop, I buy a fruit basket, and I find that I have 2 apples in that basket. So out of curiosity, I go and purchase more and more number of baskets. So I see that when I buy one basket, I have 2 apples. when I buy 2 baskets, I have 4 apples. So when I buy X baskets, I must have 2X apples, right? So now let it generalize it further. If I have F apples in each basket, right? I had 2, now I have F apples in each basket, and I buy G baskets. So I must have FG number of apples, right? Simple. Now, what does this analogy actually imply? Well, to be more precise, think of it like this. If we consider the baskets to be the states which contains the electrons, which I took as apples, then the density of state is represented by GE, and the probability of finding electrons or the holes is represented by Fe and 1 minus Fe respectively. That I will explain later. But if we multiply those two terms like we did with the basket and the apples, then we can find the concentration of electrons and the concentration of holes. Well, let's do it analytically. So we know the electrons are fermions, right? So the probability distribution function must be represented in the Fermi-Dirac distribution function, which is given like this. But you see, at the beginning, there were no electrons and holes. So we were considering it to be 1. The probability density is 1, not anything. There is no distinction, as you can see. But when electrons assume a probability of F of E, the holes must assume a probability of 1 minus F of E, because both of them combine to give us 1. So except the first one, the second one will be 1 minus probability of the first one, right? So here, the concentration will be given by the product of F and G integrated over dE. That's what we just discussed in this graph. So to understand this, let's study the band structure. In the ground state, we are assuming the energy to be 0. And here is the valence band, which is the energy En or EV, we can say that. And this is the Fermi level. Fermi level is that level where the electrons stay under it at absolute 0 temperature. When we raise the temperature, the energy increases and the electrons just jump up. This is the level from which the conduction band starts, and we assume that the conduction band has a level up to C. The height of this band will be C. So further, the density of state, as we saw in the previous slides, there is just one difference in this term. We had E, now we have E minus EC. Well, why are we using E minus EC in this case? Well, see, the conduction band is the place where the electrons jump up, right? So in order to jump above the conduction band's level, we need some energy that must be greater than the conduction band, that is EC, right? So the electrons must assume some energy E that must be greater than the conduction band's energy EC. Well, in that approximation, when we take EC is such greater that it's differentiated from the Fermi level by a few kT level, we can safely put the limit on the Fermi-Dirac distribution function and get the distribution function in this form, which resembles the form of the Boltzmann distribution function or the Maxwell-Boltzmann distribution function. Okay, so now for holes, the lowest energy level is E. So for holes to stay at a level below the valence band, the energy must be less than the valence band, or we can say the energy must be less than Fermi level, because the Fermi level is the level where the electrons stay until we increase the temperature from absolute 0. So the density of state is given by this expression, and using the approximation that Fermi energy is a few kT above the E level, we can assume here also the function 1 minus Fe reduces to this form, which is also the form of Maxwell-Boltzmann distribution function. So we give a calculation and we can see that the electron concentration is given by this expression. As we can see, we earlier assumed that it's G multiplied by F. So the limits we are taking is EC to infinity because we are considering the energy to be very high. And for holes, it is from EV to 0. Sorry, I did some mistake here. The limits are not proper. But we take the energy to be 0 to EV because the holes are going to stay between the valence band, right? And finally, we get this expression where NC is known as the effective density of states. And for the electrons, and NV is known as the effective density of states for the holes. But this is not the entire story. This is the case we just discussed for the 3 dimensions. But in case of 1 dimension, we also see this case where G is proportional to e to the power half. But 2-dimensional case is a very special case in which the density of state is not dependent on the energy at all. So that's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else? Kushal Dangi, are you there? Kushal?
Yes, sir.
Are you there? So, are you ready with the presentation?
No, sir. Actually, I'm not ready now.
Why?
Sir, I can present tomorrow.
No, tomorrow there is no class. So, but it has been more than 1 week since I told you. Do you want to repeat the same thing which
No,
you did
sir.
in the project? So, you must be ready in the next class.
Okay,
Anybody
sir.
else? Costless? Or Soman is not ready? Costless?
Sir, hello.
Yes.
Yes, actually, sir, I haven't my laptop and in my mobile phone presentation is not working properly, so I cannot present today.